I mean, I don't even know where to start. I suspect you have some insight into this. What do you think is the end game here? Is he actually going to play for them?
Well, first of all, like I don't have really any insight. During the season, you know, it's not like I talk to Tom, you know, daily or anything like that. So he's got bigger things to do than talk to friends. But
yeah,
I think this, it's like I've been interested on a number of different fronts. One, the whole practice scenario, if that's how it evolved, it's just so wrong on so many levels. And yet the media today tends to fawn over players and their agents because that's how they get their information, right? And so, like, I didn't see anyone taking Jimmy Butler to task at, if he did act like that. I saw his interview where he said he can't control himself. Is that really an excuse for poor behavior? And so, listen, there's many different leadership styles. Jordan, Kobe Bryant had that I'm going to drive you leadership style, but only the very, very best can lead like that. Leadership is about uniting and inspiring. And to me, both in Chicago, when they had young players there, and now in Minnesota, it looks like it's a divisive leadership where you need me and I'm going to tell you what you can't do. And so I find that interesting. And then the whole notion of how teams use the media to try to bully people like Minnesota into trades. Like, you know, like Minnesota's holding it up. Well, I would suspect they are. For what I've read that they're being offered, I would hold it up too. I don't want Alan Kraft from the Nets. You know, I mean, tell me I'm stupid, but like, no, I don't want that. And so, like, you know, I read the writers who say like, oh, they're holding it up, they're being difficult. You know, so I mean, it's very one-sided. But then the other thing I would say is, I read this article yesterday that is totally non-believable by me, that Pat Riley supposedly called Tom Thibodeau an MFer.
Yeah.
I worked for Pat Riley for 4 years. Pat Riley doesn't have to act like a tough guy. He is a tough guy. He doesn't have to leak it out. Like, there's no way Pat Riley leaked that out. Now, somebody in Miami did to try to make Pat Riley appear tough, but he doesn't need that help. There's no way Pat Riley, as professional as he is, ever called Tom Thibodeau a name. I don't buy that. And that's how absurd, to me, it's gotten.
Well, I don't know. I can't comment on the veracity of that. So let me go one by one. So I have contributed reporting to some of the stories you're referring to about Minnesota being difficult. I think I actually sent Tom a paragraph that I wrote that went into one of the stories, and the gist of that paragraph was a lot of people around the league feel sympathetic to him because, look, he was brought in with a mandate to win. He made a trade designed to get them to win, and they won. They would have been a third or fourth seed last year had Jimmy Butler missed 10 games instead of 25 or whatever it is. And everyone is going to kill them if they make this trade. And I don't even know if they're going to. I literally have no idea what's going to happen anymore. Everyone's going to kill them if they make the trade and the return is, you know, just okay stuff from Miami. And my point is always going to be, right now, October 12th, I think the only thing that is going to matter that they gave up in the trade for Jimmy Butler, because that's what people are going to kill them for. Oh, you gave up so much for Jimmy Butler and you got so little in return. I think the only thing that's going to matter is Lauri Markkanen. I don't think Chris Dunn is going to matter in the sense that you're going to look at that in 5 years and say, oh my God, they lost a top 8 point guard. I don't think Zach LaVine making almost $20 million is going to matter in the sense that you're going to look at him and say, oh my gosh, they lost a top 5 shooting guard making $20 million a year. It's a bargain contract. Drafting Patton and having him break his foot twice with the pick you got from Chicago, that kind of sore spot, I think Markkanen is the only thing that's going to matter. I just don't think you can look at that trade, no matter what they get in return, and say that was a mistake. Now, the culture that has produced this fiasco is a mistake. It's a problem, and everyone is to blame for it. But I'm going to defend.
I don't look at it like that, though. Like, I don't understand why everybody terms it a fiasco. A fiasco is losing.
Well, practice.
Like Minnesota has. No, but listen. A fiasco, and no one ever wants to talk one-loss records anymore. Sacramento's a fiasco.
Yes.
Right? They have 12 straight years. Minnesota was an absolute fiasco when they went in there. They were god-awful for 14 years not making the playoffs. So they made the playoffs last year. They won 47 games, 16-game improvement. This season hasn't started. Butler's situation, yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's not a fiasco just because someone in the media labels it a fiasco. A fiasco is if you don't win. Like, we've gotten away from the one-loss record, and now we're judging people on style. Like, are they doing the trade or non-trade, as you said, because no one knows, like everybody else wants them to? Are they being, because you can put a label to anything. Are they being frustrating, or are they being patient? Are they being diligent, or are they being untenable with their requests? It's all in the eye of the beholder. So I don't look at it like it's a fiasco. I look at it like this is the NBA with social media. Nobody believes, no player believes, no agent believes in team privacy anymore. So the moment something happens, Jimmy Butler already has an interview scheduled. Everybody's got their, leaking to their agents to leak it out to the media to gain favor with that same media. So we don't look at them objectively.
No,
so everybody has an end game in all of this. And so I don't look at it like a fiasco. I look at it, this is NBA business now. I don't say Kawhi Leonard's thing last year was a fiasco. Like, this is the NBA. This is the NBA we want because this is the NBA we pay attention to. We love drama. We don't necessarily, there's a lot of fans who don't love the game.
I agree. I think,
but they love the drama.
I think the game is too often secondary. I completely agree. I did a podcast about this with Will Leach like 3 summers ago, where we talked about ahead of free agency, how and I think the NBA head office is okay with this. Free agency is more interesting to people than like basketball, and I get that. We all want to be fantasy GMs and everything. I do think, and I sound like an old man. I get it. I do think the game is a little bit getting lost. But that's a different story. Here's what I meant by fiasco. What happened in practice yesterday, or whenever, Wednesday, that's a fiasco. It's a fiasco. The culture being so culture is the wrong word. Whatever is going on between Towns and Butler and Wiggins, and the team's inability to get over that, to get everyone on the same page, to have Jimmy Butler yelling at Karl Anthony Towns, is a fiasco to me. Now, to go back, I do think I don't know if it's by accident or on purpose, but I do think that there's sort of like a crazy like a fox thing going on here with Tibbs. Like, if he wants Butler back and he thinks they can win games and keep going in Minnesota instead of having the whole organization blow up, like, he's played his cards right. Like, in a weird way, objectively, they are moving towards a scenario that he wants. I bet he was happy with how practice went down the other day. I don't know. I haven't talked to him.
Oh, I would disagree. I would.
You don't think so?
Listen, I don't. And again, I haven't spoken to him about this, but no coach believes if what you read that Butler did
right
actually happened, which I don't know if it did or didn't. But let's say it did. There is absolutely no coach
that wants.
I heard Jimmy Butler say, "Oh, Tibbs was smiling." No way. I guarantee every coach believes in order, in unity, in togetherness, in pulling in the same direction. And this idea that a coach would be fine with that or good with that. Now, there's a different, trash talk is no longer. The one thing that I've learned from coaching my USA basketball team is every bus ride used to be contentious. There used to be debates going on every bus ride about everything. Who's better than who? should you get a prenuptial agreement or should you not? Like all this stuff, right? And it was every day, all the time. Now, when I ride even buses with the USA Basketball, I've asked other coaches about this. It's silence, absolute silence, because everybody's got their headphones on their phone, looking at whatever they look at or listening to whatever they're listening to. And so team communication is so much different. But the idea that a coach would be like, trash talk is one thing. What I read was something overboard.
It
wasn't to help.
I think it was pernicious.
To help drive a team. Yeah, it wasn't to help drive a team towards winning. And that's the other thing. If I hear one more time, player X is all about winning, I'm going to throw up that the media keeps putting it out there and buying it just because they're being bought off by agents and players. There is no player, no coach, no owner, no general manager that's all about winning. They want to make money, and they want to do it in the place that they want to do it in. And yes, they also would like to win, but it's not by anybody all about winning. So I just get so sick of hearing the cliches that get thrown out, and now they're talking about with Butler. But it's ridiculous to say this is all about winning. To me, this is all about many things. I don't know what they are, but it's certainly not all about winning.
Made this here with all the ice on in the booth. At the gate outside when